Turn to Mary C. Curtis in Charlotte, North Carolina. She's the host of the podcast Equal Time with Mary C. Curtis and a columnist with Roll Call, a newspaper that reports on Capitol Hill. Mary, welcome to the program. How hard is it really going to be to find 12 people, 12 impartial jurors around Minneapolis, 12 people who can forget what they saw?
I think that's really impossible. The job basically for the lawyers, the prosecutor and the defense, you're trying to find someone who has seen it, but can say, I still am able to be impartial and listen to the evidence. So that is going to be a difficult chore. Also, we have to realize it's not just one trial. It is about really a worldwide. We saw those marches and protests talking about justice in policing and how African Americans and people of color are treated by the police. So it's the world looking at it. And right now, I do really think that they really are going to have to strive to have a jury with people of color on it.
And what is the likelihood of having a racially diverse jury, Mary?
We'll see, but I think that whatever they come up with will have a lot to do with whether at the end people feel that the verdict and the result is one that they can all accept, because it's going to be difficult for the prosecution, because in so many cases we've seen jurors give police and law enforcement the benefit of the doubt in any situation where they act. Now, this case, of course, you have that video of him, of Officer Chauvin, Derek Chauvin, kneeling on George Floyd's neck. So we can already see that his defense is basically trying to say that he had medical conditions and that the officer's action was justified.
The judge denied defense requests for a change of venue. Were you surprised by that?
Not really, because, people saw this video across state lines, across country's boundaries. So it would be very difficult to get, if someone said they had no idea of what was going on, I really would doubt the honesty of that person, because it was impossible to escape it. And so I think also there would have been an outcry from the people involved saying, listen, these people need to be tried where it happened. So all eyes are on this. And you say I cover Congress as well. We have that George Floyd Justice in Policing Act that the House has passed, looking to put some limits on the powers of law enforcement dealing with communities, particularly communities of color. So that's playing on in the background as well.
Prosecutors, as I don't know if you heard our reporter, Dan Williams, they're trying to reinstate this third-degree murder charge against Chauvin. Talk about what that's about. Why is this important?
Well, it's important for prosecutors because they know how difficult it will be, and now they have the second-degree and manslaughter charges there. They want to give the jury options, so they can say, well, if we don't think it meets this threshold, maybe it meets the threshold for third degree. So they want to give them as many options as they can in hopes of getting some kind of guilty charge on one of the charges. And we can see the defense fighting back at that because they want the standard to be very high.
Mary, a lot of concern that justice will not be served in this trial. I just want to get your thoughts. Are we going to see justice?
Well, it depends on, how you define it. But I do know that communities of color, African Americans, know that. I think in the state of Minnesota, I don't think you've ever had a white police officer found guilty in the killing of an African American. So I would say they aren't very optimistic. They want to see if the law will apply to police officers and if there will be some constraints on police. But right now, from what I can hear, they're hopeful, but not optimistic, which is why you see so many people out in the streets peacefully demonstrating, saying, how long will this go on?
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Mary C. Curtis, thank you so much.